So this is my first little tutorial video on standard form. Super exciting stuff, but it is something that you need to be able to understand and apply at GCSE Maths, also the GCSE Sciences, and it's something that's universally used in the maths and science world, so it's pretty important. So first of all, what is standard form? Well, essentially, it's just a way of putting large numbers or small numbers into an easy to read format. And I've already gone ahead, Blue Peter style, and put these numbers into standard form. So hopefully you can already see the similarities between them, even though we're dealing with a large number and a small number. They both end in the times 10 to the power of another number. And the other thing as well is the amount of digits we have on the left-hand side of the decimal point. So in both these instances, we only have one digit on the left-hand side. So to put a number into standard form, I am going to go ahead and use an inequality. Let's use a different color. Okay, so if x is my number that I want to put into standard form, it has to be larger or equal to the value of 1 or less than 10. And in both these cases, I have satisfied that because they are between 1 and less than 10. So that is the first thing for standard form. The next thing is looking at this number here, because we always follow whatever number we have here, we always follow with the times 10. It's just a case of determining what number goes here. So this number actually tells us the direction we've moved the decimal point and how many places. So I'll show you what I mean. For this number, 1742, our decimal point belongs here. However, to put it into standard form, that decimal point needs to move 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So that's where my 3 came from. And it's a positive value because we've moved it to the left. Whereas if we look at this one, our decimal point, let's make it a little bit more obvious, started here, but in order for it to be in standard form, we have moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the right. So that's where this value came from. Whatever sign goes in front of this number, so we can, it's not actually there, but we know that that is a positive 3. So if it's a positive number here, the original number we're dealing with was a large number. But if it's a negative number here, the original number we were dealing with was a really small number. So you're probably thinking, well, why would I go to the effort of putting it into standard form? 1742 isn't a difficult number to read, and likewise with this one. Well, obviously, there are going to have to be times where they are not very nice numbers. We are dealing with horrendous numbers. So let's go ahead and have a look at a horrendous number and go back to white. Okay, so if you typed into Google, mass of the Earth, you should get a number of 5.972 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. So first of all, this number here is positive, which means the original number we're dealing with must be a big number. And also the magnitude, we've got 24 here. That means we're dealing with a pretty big number. So if I write this number out in full, what I'd actually write is 5972, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd end up writing 21 zeros here. So now that number looks pretty horrendous. And really, who's got time to sit there writing out all these zeros? Not me. So this is why standard form is pretty useful. And going the other end of the spectrum, if you type into Google the mass of the electron, so something really, really small now, you should get 9.11 times 10 to the negative 31 kilograms. Now, if I was to write this number out, I would have to do 30, I'm not going to because it's going to take up my whole screen, but 30 zeros before I get to 911. And again, it's just time consuming. The other thing is when we're comparing these numbers, looking at this number and then looking at this number, for me, it just doesn't look very nice. So I would rather look at it in standard form where I can compare these numbers here. So it just makes comparing numbers a lot easier. Let's go and have a look at some examples. So in your tests and exams, you may be asked to convert numbers to standard form. Let's take a large number first of all. So 108,215, converting it to standard form. So let's get another colour. Pink. Oh, there we go. I'm still getting used to this software. Okay, so our decimal point starts here, but we need it to be between 1 and less than 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the only place that the decimal point can go. Anywhere else, and it doesn't satisfy that inequality I was on about, which I'm going to write again up here. So this is the only place that decimal point can go. So 1.08215 times 10, and I've moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So that's it. That's putting the number into standard form. And let's take a really small number this time. Let's put 0.000000621 into standard form. So this time my decimal point starts over here. I needed to satisfy this inequality over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd sit there. So 6.21 times 10. And this time we've gone the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So we'd have a negative 6 here. And that's kind of it, really. That's all there is to standard form. I'm going to put some questions up on my page. But if you have any questions from this video, then feel free to message me. And yeah, thanks for watching.